Welcome to the Straight Out of Home Video podcast, part of the Geeky Waffle Network. Today we're talking about Mickey, Donald, Goofy, the Three Musketeers. I'm Candace, and with me is my co-host Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa.
Hey!
This was produced by Disney Toon Studios and released directly to VHS and DVD in 2004. Have you seen this before, Vanessa?
I don't think that I have.
Me either.
Yeah, with all of the Three Musketeers stuff out there, and that, obviously whenever I think of this, I think of the Tres Caballeros, which is different. But when I think of just the Disney animation story of that, that's what I think of, and not this.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I have seen it.
Yeah. I think I got this confused with The Prince and the Pauper. That one from the 90s, which is actually just a short film.
Yeah, which is very different.
Yeah, so different. And yeah, this is an adaptation of the 1944 novel, The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. And it's actually the first full-length film with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy.
Oh,
which
really?
is shocking. It took to 2004 for this to happen.
Yeah, that is very surprising.
So pretty much the three of them are like orphans or something. And they're on the streets of Paris or France. And they dream about becoming musketeers.
Yeah, it's very cute. And I don't know, I didn't realize the orphan thing. But I don't know. I guess I just thought that they were kids. And maybe their just parents weren't around, but that makes it a little sadder.
They're just on the street.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, they saw the Musketeers, kicking ass and everything. So they decided to that's what they were going to be when they grew up. And then they do grow up, and I don't really know there, because obviously there had to be a particular amount of time where they were doing other things. But when they finally do grow up, they're janitors, but like really bad janitors, and all three of them are janitors for the same person, which is Pete.
Yeah, I thought it was like the castle.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, but either way, like I just don't understand exactly how they got from there to there and what happened in between, because it doesn't seem like they're even very good at this job. So, what were they doing?
Hijinks ensued in between time.
Yeah,
they are good at their jobs. They look at the other musketeers and they dream. And of course, Pete, I have like in my notes, Pete's a dick.
Oh yeah, of course.
He tells them like they're never going to be musketeers. And this part actually made me laugh. He's looking at Goofy, and Goofy's head just makes this disconnected number. Like, the number you have reached has been disconnected. Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah, I love how he basically just had an insult for each one of them. And the thing that was the funniest to me, and I don't even know if it come back later, was when Goofy. So anyway, so I guess I'm getting ahead of the story. But basically the whole thing is that they want to be musketeers, but Pete is like, no, you definitely can't be musketeers. You all suck for various reasons. And so they're very sad, but Mickey, doesn't lose resolve. He's like, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And anyway, Pete, of course, has an evil plan to become king by kidnapping Minnie, who is the princess or queen. I don't know exactly which one it is. Yeah.
They keep saying France, but nobody has a French accent.
Of France. Well, except for the turtle.
Oh yeah, the turtle. Oh, this whole thing opens up on a sound stage. Mm-hmm. And the original narrator gets knocked out. So this turtle.
Well, I don't even think that the original story was the Three Musketeers. I think he wanted to read the Three Musketeers and play his songs, but the narrator was like, nah, that's not happening. But the narrator falls and supposedly, I don't know, dies. I have no idea, because you don't see him again.
No,
and then the book, the book like flails out of there. But I don't think that's the book that he uses. So I think he just basically takes over the entire show. He's narrating it, but also playing songs throughout the entire thing. So it's kind of like a little mini musical, and all the songs are based off of famous songs, such as In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
But anyway, yeah, so Minnie is queen or princess or whatever of France, and so he's going to kidnap her and become king.
Yeah, that's his whole plot.
That's his whole plan. So he has these henchmen who are very bad at their jobs.
I think they're the Beagle Boys from DuckTales.
Oh,
Or
are they?
other ones, yeah.
They looked vaguely familiar, but I couldn't place them. But yeah, so the henchmen are terrible at their jobs. And so he decides, and so first of all, they mess up the first attempt.
Yes.
And Minnie comes to him because I guess he's like captain of the guard or something. And
Yeah.
and she's like, listen, you mess this up. I need bodyguards now. And so he is like, okay. And so then he has this idea is like, well, I can give you musketeers. And then he decides to make Goofy, Donald, and Mickey musketeers because he thinks that they will fail miserably and he can just get away with whatever he wants.
Yep. And you know what? Oh, also, Minnie's thinking of her true love.
Oh, right. There's also multiple love stories in this 1.5-minute video.
Oh my God. There's so many plot lines in this. It's insane. And of course, when Minnie first sees Mickey, the musketeer, she falls in love instantly. So does he. Mm-hmm. And Daisy's like, he's a commoner, non-college bound.
Right. Because apparently whatever type of France, whatever era of France that they're in, they have college, and I don't know.
And Minnie was really into the idea that's a forbidden romance.
Yes. Which I think was probably a joke that was like thrown in there for adults.
Yeah. She was like, that's hot. I'll go for it. But there's like a lot of things, like they're eating fast food.
Yes,
I know. Phones.
Yeah, it didn't make sense at what period of time they were in, but you know, again, that's just Disney.
Yeah.
It was cute. The thing that I was getting ahead of myself for was the whole Goofy being he's supposed to be, you know, just like kind of empty-headed and not too bright. And yet he's some sort of just applied physics master. For one time, I have no idea.
It's that whole like, you know, he's a secret genius kind of trope where it's like he's dumb about everything else.
But did it come back? But did it come back after that one moment?
So.
That's why I'm like, wait, what just happened here?
Oh, I remember like Minnie's talking to Daisy about Mickey, and she's like, "We both have the same last name. It's destiny."
Yeah. And I was like, "Ooh, that's a little weird." But then it was also it headed up for Daisy to be like, "Well, I'm glad that that's not destiny for me because then I would be with that Donald guy," which of course she does end up with in the end. But what didn't make sense to me in that moment also was Minnie was like, "But the commoner," and I mean, obviously joking with her and everything, but at the same time, isn't a lady in waiting a commoner?
Usually they are they're members of the court, and usually they're ladies of like higher standards, like
okay, gotcha.
They're daughters of like dukes, and
I just figured that they were servants or something.
I think it varies from royalty to royalty, but like I really got into the musical 6 recently. And I was looking into things, and like Anne Boleyn was like a lady in waiting to Catherine of Aragon before she divorced. And then
interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know anything about like hierarchy or
yeah, but I think it matters.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense then. But
and also, Daisy wants to marry probably above her station a little bit, before she fell in love.
I thought it was a pretty cute movie. I didn't, it's definitely higher up than many of the others that we've seen.
It was so much better. Like, I honestly thought, like, I was surprised. I was like, this is quality compared to some of the stuff we've seen. Yeah, it's like the animation looked great.
Mm-hmm.
The writing was the writing. It hit the target for its age group. Like, it made me giggle a few times, which I was surprised about.
Yeah, and it's definitely something that's geared toward kids, obviously. But what it felt like to me was just watching just a Disney cartoon, but just longer.
Yeah,
and definitely. So I think that they just like stayed directly on brand, and they did a good job with it. It was cute.
Just a little Easter egg on the back of Pete's coach horse. The number plate is written A113, which is an inside joke, and in all the Pixar movies, because that's the classroom number that a lot of them went to school and learned at.
Oh, that's funny.
It got kind of dark at the end because like Mickey is chained up and he's like, "Where's Goofy?" And Pete's like, "He's getting fitted for a halo." And I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh. And then like Clarabelle's like, "You're going on the long, your journey's ending and all this stuff." And I was like, "This is dark as heck." And then they fall in love.
Yeah, they definitely were gonna murder them. No, yeah, yeah, that was I'm like, okay, so we have the mice together, we have the ducks together, but somehow Goofy is with a cow.
Love knows no bounds. There's a really funny, at least I thought it was funny, Robot Chicken like skit where it's like all the Disney characters have an intervention for Goofy and Clarabelle because they're like, it's just not normal. And Beast is like, but me and Belle are cool, right? Because like I was human. But yeah, I don't know. They're close enough. Goofy deserves love too.
Goofy does deserve love. I thought it was interesting though, because like all of the other Musketeers didn't they look like Goofy?
Yeah, they were the dog, you know, looking
So
like
why
the
were they
dog.
all but why are they all dog?
Because they're loyal and brave.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It's just the same on animation.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
no
real
good
reason.
excuse for that.
But dogs are the best, and they're loyal and brave and strong, and they'll protect people.
Yes, Bucky is
Like,
sitting right next to Candace, protecting her as we speak.
yes. Dude is 20 pounds, but he would take people down if he had to. He goes for the knees. He's like, I'll get you on my level. Karate chop. Not that he's done that. He's done that to two people. I will not go into detail.
He has done that to two people.
Yeah. One time
wants
they were testing the fire alarm, and Bucky did not like that. He thought like the guy was like, I think it was a firefighter too, or
Oh,
fire
God.
inspector, just checking the fire alarm. And Bucky's like, hell no, and goes straight for the back of his knees. And so like they buckle because Bucky's like, I gotta get you to the ground where I am.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, yeah, there you go. He was protecting you.
Yes. On that
Oh, he
note,
knows.
yes.
He would be a great musketeer.
He would. He would be a very good musketeer. Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
Bucky, where's your sword?
Yeah, you want a sword? He's got his Mickey ears right here. Okay, so Rotten Tomatoes. There are actually enough reviews for this to have a critic score. Vanessa, do you wish to guess what percentage the critics?
Critics, let's see. 82%.
Wow, that's pretty high. It actually got 36% by critics.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Why?
Common Sense Media said, too much cartoon violence in a tale of classic trio.
Okay.
It's cartoon violence, though.
It's cartoons, and also when you say the classic trio, I mean the Three Musketeers do get into fights, and
They
so
got
I
swords.
don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what
All
they
right.
expected.
All right.
Movie Metropolis says, you barely got an hour movie. Hardly enough to do more than cram in songs and let Mickey and his friends run around a little.
Well, that's what a lot of Disney things are, though.
Yeah. Again, don't know what people expected. Okay, the audience score is a little bit higher. What do you think it is?
Oh, now I'm like all thrown off. 73%.
49%.
Oh, really?
Yeah. People are like, it's okay, but a little odd, someone said. Another person said, underrated classic that I recommend anyone watch. So some people are like really gung-ho on it. One person said, lighthearted enough for kids to enjoy and adults to find it tolerable. Animation is decent by Disney Toon standards, which I agree. But be warned that the added lyrics, classical songs will either make the adults chuckle or cringe.
Like the tunes that the songs are set to? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, they're saying like the lyric.
Okay.
So they added lyrics to these classic music.
Well, yeah, but whatever. I don't see the issue with that, but
Me either. Yeah. If nobody was like only like a few people were like, this is a classic. I love it.
I think people, well, here's the thing. I don't think it was meant to be a classic.
No.
I think it was just meant to be fun. And I think that it was meant for a specific audience.
Hmm.
And the one comment about the fact that it was long enough for kids to enjoy and, enough for adults to tolerate, I feel like that's a pretty good standard for kids movies.
Definitely. If I'm not like ripping my hair out at a kids thing, I think that's pretty good.
Yes, and
Especially
again,
considering what we've watched in the past.
I know, and that's why I feel so off right now because I feel like there's been worse ones that have gotten higher ratings.
Yeah, I don't know if they expected more from this, if they were treating it like it was a theatrical release, but it's only an hour and 5 minutes. It's not like I don't know
I'm
if you can
wondering
even call this a feature.
I'm wondering if by using the Three Musketeer name, they kind of messed it up for themselves.
You think that people had expectations
Yeah,
going
maybe there
in?
was like an expectation of because again, Three Musketeers, that's a classic story.
Yeah.
It's been done numerous times.
Hmm.
So maybe they were just thinking that that they were going to pull out all the stops for this when really it was just kind of a fun, lighthearted, movie that they were going through for.
Yeah, it's an epic story, so maybe they thought like it was going to be epic too.
Yeah,
And there's
a classic as they say,
yeah,
which is like not every movie has to be a classic for it to be okay.
yeah, but we got Mickey, Donald, and Goofy hanging out. There's nothing objectable about it.
No, although I do want to say that the very beginning started making me anxious just because they were, as they were at work and everything was going wrong and you just know that they're going to get reamed and I was just like sitting there going like, "Oh God, no." Like it was just like making me think of work and when you're like messing everything up. Oh. So that was the little, at least adult kind of freak out that I had during this movie.
Yeah, and just Goofy making the floors dirtier by mopping it.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
cringy.
come on, guys. It's basic things. But
Hmm.
yeah, we were a little too old for this. Like when this came out, we were teenagers by this point. But we want to know, are you nostalgic for this? Did you watch this as a kid? Was it in your DVD or VHS collection? Because this was still a VHS release.
Hmm.
You can find us at thegeekywaffle.com, geeky_waffle on Twitter, the Geeky Waffle everywhere else, including TikTok, YouTube, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, all the cool places. That's where we're at. Thank you, Vanessa, for joining me, and we hope you all have a happily ever after until, I don't know, you become a musketeer and
Until you
die.
find your other two musketeers.
There we go. Oh, that's cute.